Hello, Fat Grandma here. It is about 2:30 in the morning on Thursday. Yes, I'm still awake. I'm a night owl anyway, but my hours are all screwed up now because I was supposed to have a PET scan yesterday, so I didn't sleep well the night before. Anytime I have a procedure or anything scheduled, I have issues sleeping the night before, especially if it's something that I haven't had done before and I've never had one of these scans. It's to check your arteries and stuff with your and your veins and everything to see what your blood flow is and if there's any blockages or anything. So, having not had this done before, I was a little nervous about it and apprehensive, and so I didn't sleep, and so I ended up taking a nap later in the day yesterday, and now I'm awake. So I'm listing things on eBay, and I thought of some things. Normally, you guys don't see me in the middle of the week, but I had some things I wanted to talk about, and the PET scan is one of them, just to give you guys a heads up if you ever have to have one, some things you don't want to do. Anyway, and so I don't, my videos used to run really long, like some of them were over an hour or close to an hour. And I'm trying to keep them under 30 minutes now so that people don't fall asleep. So, the last video that I did at the beginning of this week was over 30 minutes. And so, even though sales are slow, I somehow managed to go over the half hour mark every once in a while. And so I figured I would go ahead and talk about this other random stuff now, and then when I do my sales on Sunday or Monday, it'll just be a normal video. So, anyway, as far as the PET scan goes, if you're ever going to have one, they give you this giant list of instructions, what not to do beforehand. And I read it, and so I didn't. I don't drink or eat, anything that has caffeine in it. I don't drink coffee with caffeine. I drink decaf, which I know still has traces of caffeine, and I rarely even do that. But the stuff that I drink all day is water, but I put flavoring in it. And this is the flavoring that I use. It's great value, so it's from Walmart. It's like that Mio or whatever. I don't know. It's water enhancer stuff. You just squirt some in your water and it gives it some flavor. I can't stand plain water. I hate it. Unless it's during the summer, it's really hot and I have tons of ice in it. I can't just drink plain water. Ugh. Anyway, so this is my flavor that I use, and I don't have any other flavors. I always read everything that has anything to do with tea or coffee to see if there's any caffeine in it before I buy it, because I know I can't have caffeine because it causes panic and anxiety, and I don't deal well with that. So I've never had any problem with this. I've never felt like I had caffeine. When I got to the place to get my PET scan yesterday morning, they asked me if I'd had anything to drink, and I said, "Oh, just my water," and I put flavor in it, and they're like, "What kind of flavor?" And I told them. So then they go on this wild goose chase online to look up my flavoring that I use, and they said that since it's made with actual tea leaves, I guess, there might be slight traces of caffeine in the drink, and they couldn't do my PET scan. I'm like, are you kidding me? Really? Over that? You know what I mean? So just, I don't know if the people at this imaging place are just extra anal about following the guidelines, or if it's really that big of a deal. I'm imagining that people have gone in before having had their coffee in the morning and they just didn't tell the people at this game. You know what I mean? Whatever. So I have to go back today I would say tomorrow because it's still nighttime, but I have to go back at, I don't know, it's like around noon. I'm going to look on my phone. I'm glad they had another appointment available today, like the day after. Yeah, my appointment's at 1:15. So anyway, so round two, and I have to drink tons of water because they have to put an IV in. So I've been visiting the bathroom more than normal, because yesterday, because I was loading up on fluids, and now the same thing again tonight. So I keep having to run to the bathroom because of that. I don't know. I'll be glad when it's over with. The part of the PET scan that makes me anxious is they inject something to increase your heart rate because I'm not doing the treadmill. I forget what the actual test is called, but it's like it's to test your blood flow and stuff. But most people, I guess, get on a treadmill and do the thing. They're not having me do that because of my weight, number one, and number two, my back and my knees and my hips. I wouldn't be able to stay on a treadmill and go for as long as they would need me to. So, anyway, they're doing it this way, which, is fine and it works, I guess. But at one point, they have to speed up your heart rate so that they can see how things are working. And that part I'm not looking forward to because I'm afraid it's going to give me an anxiety attack. And I'm probably going to give myself one just from worrying about it. I don't know. I'm going to try to, once I get there and, they get me situated, I'm going to try to just get myself in a zone because that's usually what I end up having to do when I go in for any kind of procedures or anything. I'm just like, after they've asked me all the questions and I've answered everything, then I'm like, okay, leave me alone now so that I can just calm myself down. And I will just close my eyes and take some deep breaths and imagine I'm in a forest, you know, without any people around and I just calm myself down. So I'm hoping that tomorrow goes, or later today goes better than yesterday did. But the other thing a couple of things that I wanted to talk to you guys about. So I'm done. That's the health thing that's going on. The last video I did, I mentioned those Build-A-Bears that I bought at that auction, and that they might not be worth anything, and I was kind of poo-pooing the whole thing, and I may have been premature in my assessment of their value. Not that they're worth a lot, but even if I sold them all, the 5 that I got, at 50% of the price that I have them now listed at, I would still bring in around $110, 114, 115, somewhere around there. So over $100. And I paid $12.50 for the lot, I think. Yeah, the lot was $12.50 plus the fees and stuff, so around $15. So, I don't know how long it's going to take to sell them, probably a while, but, you know, I will be able to make my money back. They'll pay for themselves. It's not going to be a loss where they're concerned. As long as I sell them, like I said, even if I sold them at half of what I have them listed for, I would still make my money back and have a decent amount of profit. So those, and they're all, I looked at them real close. They're all in very, very good condition. One of them still has tags. I don't know who owned them, but they took really good care of them. They all have outfits and they're very cute, So there's 2 rabbits, bunny rabbits. Both of them have a flower print on them, and they would make really great Easter presents for someone's kids, or grandkids or whatever. If my granddaughter was still little or younger, if she was under 9, I would probably be giving her one of them for Easter this year because they're really cute. Anyway, so that was kind of a good thing with the Build-A-Bears. I should make a decent amount of money on those once they finally sell. The other thing that happened yesterday when I got back from the fiasco with the PET scan, I got a sale, and it was a big sale. Now, the person has already paid, but it's a local pickup, and they live in Flagstaff, which is a couple hours away from Phoenix, and they have weather right now. I don't know if right now they have weather, but they've been having snow and all kinds of things going on up there. So this guy has apparently purchased there. I'll put a picture up here of what he's purchased from me. These are collectible glasses that were sold by the gas stations back in the day. And my mom had a couple of sets of them, full sets, and they were just up in a cabinet. And so I sold one set already. This was the more expensive set. And anyway, he paid full price. He paid my asking price. I'm under, there's only a couple of other full sets listed on eBay right now. And I was a little bit under the other prices. Plus, I have, local pickup available. And since he lives in Flagstaff, and he said he's going to be down here next week, so I'm not getting excited about this sale yet because, if for some reason he's not going to be down here or he changes his mind, he could ask me to cancel the sale, which I would gladly do, and I'll just relist them. But I'm hoping that doesn't happen. So that one's up in the air, but it's a big sale. Trying to remember how much it was, and I'm going to look real quick. I always do this when I have you when I start recording. I'm like, oh, I should look that up. Waiting shipment. Oh, I've got some other things, but I'll talk about my solds on Sunday. And I don't know if this is actually sold yet or not, so I'm not, getting excited yet. I had him listed for $275. He paid full price, so it's going to be a decent chunk of change once the fees are taken out and everything else. So those are the sales that if I can have one of those kind of sales once a month, it really helps. So anyway, so that was some good news today, and it's still pending, but I'm hopeful. And then the other thing that I wanted to talk about, and this just has to do with being a reseller. When I was in that Facebook group, and if you guys saw my video a few videos back, I talked about not doing Facebook groups anymore because I saw how awful those people can be. And and I forgot to even mention this, but one of the people in the group, and others chimed in, yeah, I do the same thing. And I was like, really? And so what they do is, we were talking about shipping and, how to ship certain things. And one of the people in the group, who's been a seller for quite a while, said that they ship everything media mail and that they've never gotten caught, and I'm like, are you kidding me? Because to me, that's just, it's cheating. It's cheating if you're shipping everything you sell by media mail. It's cheaper. They're lucky the post office hasn't opened their packages because they can do that. They can open the box to see if it's actually proper contents for it to go shipped media mail. And I don't know where this person lives that the post office just isn't checking the packages. But they've been reselling for a while, and I'm like, that's messed up because the rest of us who are doing it the right way are shipping things the way we're supposed to. So if we have the same item that we're selling, and it's a 5-pound box, and they ship media mail and we're shipping either priority or ground, our shipping's going to be double what they're charging because they're cheating. So if you're shipping stuff, if somebody sees this and you're shipping stuff that isn't media mail by media mail, you need to stop it because first of all, it's cheating. You know, it's not a level playing field at that point. The other thing is, if the post office continues to catch people shipping media mail or shipping using media mail and it's not media mail, they could just discontinue doing that and not offer media mail shipping. So, so people would have to pay, priority or ground rates for heavy ass books, it's just wrong. It's messed up, and people need to not do that, because it could screw it up for everybody. They're just taking advantage. I don't understand the cheating thing and doing, and I'm not I'm not one of these people that's like, oh, you have to follow every single rule, and I'm very by the books and all. That's not that's not what I mean. It's just, when it comes to something like that, they can ruin it for everyone, and it's not fair to the other sellers because for those of us who don't want to do that and break the law, basically, you know, our stuff's going to be more expensive. Or we have to lower the price and have less profit because we're not willing to, game the system or whatever you want to call it, that these people are doing. So, now when I look, and again, I forgot to mention this before now, but when I look at people who are shipping stuff and, they're offering free shipping, it's like, how can they make any money? Well, maybe they're shipping everything media mail, and that's the trick, that I was talking about. And yes, DVDs and movies and stuff, and can go media mail, but I'm talking about other things, like things that you shouldn't be shipping by media mail. Anyway, that was the other thing that I want to talk to you guys about in this video. I think that's it. I'm going back for my PET scan. We're going to try a second time today. I have to go to bed soon, so I'm going to try and get this edited and uploaded before I go to sleep. And then if I can get 6 hours of sleep before I get up, that'll be fine. So I have 2 more hours that I can be awake before I have to go to sleep. So he's being busy again. He's been in so much trouble lately. He keeps getting into stuff. I'm like, dude, because he was really good for a while when we've been living in this room for almost 2 years now. And he's been in here with me for over a year. And he's been real good. And all of a sudden, just the past month or so, he's been getting into things. And I don't know what his problem is. He's not a kitten anymore. So you'd think, and usually they calm down and they just, kind of mellow out. But he's doing the opposite. Maybe he's going stir crazy. I don't know. Anyway, I hope you guys have a good rest of your week. And I will see you early next week with my Souls video. Bye.